All right, today's project is loader tractors. We have been using this one to do everything, as our 1650 has been apart for many moons because the loader frame broke. And then I just kept deciding to go farther and farther. And when you see it, it's just gonna make you scratch your head, but whatever. But the first thing I gotta do is I want to empty this off of here, take this back to the recycling, where it will be reduced to its most basic of elements, and then this tractor will be empty, ready to go again. We shouldn't have to feed any hay for the next 2 days. I don't know. I don't remember if I put it out yesterday or the day before. I've been trying to get 4 days out of a bale. That should get me through the winter pretty good. The old bovines are driving me nuts though, because if you can see way down there, there is that troublemaker who seems to crawl through the fence. No matter where they're at, no matter how much food they have, he's never satisfied. He's trying to get to the remnants of green grass that are growing in the ditches and things. So yeah, that's something we're gonna have to address, but we'll get on the project of the day, which is 1650 loader tractor, right after this. All right, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. Not an Oliver, but a tractor that's not going to ever leave my side. But here is my 1650, as you might recall. The poor sad sack. It needs to be taken in and just cleaned up really good and finish things that never got finished, like axle seals, and you know, it could probably stand for a set of brake seals now, and definitely brake discs, or at least adjustment. When Grandpa used it, he liked to drive around with the brakes locked, and that did not do it any favors. But our loader was twisted and mangled, as you might recall. And then I decided I can't just do the minimum. I gotta push forward on this project and try to make it better. So this is not a good paint job. I don't know how it'll appear on camera. It's shiny, that's fine, but there's a lot of runs in it, and I don't really care. The loader is junk. I mean, it's not, if you were gonna restore a loader, this would not be the one, because it is, you can see all the welds and stuff. I welded a plate in here. A lot of them had that solid off plate, but this one had been cut. So I welded a plate back through here. I might get a decal to put in there like they had. And that should also help stiffen it up from the side to side mangling problems. So where are we here on this project? Well, I had to plate it, and I plated it on both sides of here because it broke. I don't remember which side broke, if it was that one or this one, but it broke all the way into there. So I put plates on both sides there, and hopefully that will slow down the deterioration of this thing. Mainly it cracks there because it's pulling from here. Your cylinder's pulling, and so that puts a lot of strain there. When you plate one place, then you find the next weakest place, and that's what's going to happen now. We plated it really good there, so we'll find new and exciting ways to break it now. I had trouble with one of the fittings wouldn't come out, so I took this cylinder totally out of here and then got that done. So no big deal there. Yeah, what else? Well, the first time I painted it upside down, and I painted what I could get to, and that was not, it didn't turn out great. It has really bad orange peel and whatever. What I did yesterday seems to be decent-ish. However, what I learned about the first go-round is I need to leave it alone and not even mess with it today. Just leave it sit for 2 or 3 days till it hardens up a little bit, and then it should be okay. My plan is some point, I hope I can do it over this winter, but I want to take the sheet metal off and get it painted. The engine has been painted, although now it's covered with garbage. The inside of the frame was painted when I overhauled it. So slowly it's getting some green paint on it where it doesn't just look like a rusty pile of garbage. So yeah, I see the mailman has come now, so I need to go check on that. But basically where we are is I need to get these lines cleaned up and painted so that we can put them back on the frame and hook up our connections so that we can put our bucket on. So that's what we're going to work on here in a minute. I'm going to go address the mail situation and see what I got, and then I'll be right back. All right, well, steer into the skid maybe, I don't know. We're gonna end up throwing it all over the ground, I'm sure, before we're done. I think that these are savable again one more time. Yeah, I think that I can clean these up and go again, and I will probably just spray paint them, is what I'm thinking. But what would be the easiest way to clean that up? Emery cloth, because you can wrap it around and get it. I think trying to wire brush them would take forever and ever. So if I was to do that, then the only next thing I'd have to do is the clamps, clean those up. Let's make sure that these are, I thought they were good. That one's getting kind of not very nice, but I think it'll go again. So emery cloth and paint will make my tubes what they ain't. So yeah, let's do that, and we'll get our clamps cleaned up. I don't remember, are there just 4? There is one here, 2, 3. Where's the 4th one at? Oh, it went there, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be good to go. I'm hoping that I don't have trouble fine threaded bolts in those holes, because yeah, dirty, you know. Might have to take the tap and clean those out, or take the impact and hammer them home. So I will get to work on this, and if I do it right, maybe when I get back from the bus route later, the paint will be dry enough that I could go ahead and put these on and start forward with this project. Then all I have to do is plumb up those hoses, which I've had forever, and go back over and put the bucket on, you know, and then it should be usable. And that's good, because I really need to be able to use it. So yeah, I'll get to work. Well, hopefully you still work. I pretty aggressively dropped the camera, but it's about an hour or so later. I think we can work with this. What we're gonna have to do is figure out the orientation of these, because one will have to be on top of the other one, obviously. And then yeah, okay, so the one I got is the top one, and the other one's the bottom one. And the reason I say that is because 2 of the hoses go down and 2 of the hoses go up. So I will try to stick you somewhere here where you can watch, but this is not going to be something that I have a lot of room to accomplish this task, and it's going to be very difficult because they're going to be floppy all over the place. And I just had a thought. What if I put one like this and hook it up? Do I want to hook it up, or do I want to see, I can use that weight to help me hold until I can get things where they need to be. Sure, let's hit the tractor as hard as we can, you know. What I was hoping I could do, I was really hoping I could, like, and it's not going to let me do it that way. I was hoping I could loosely clamp the one, like this back one. And if I could do that, then I can just slide them forward. But it's not going to let me do that, naturally, because that would be much too easy, you know? It's going to make me fight with them the whole time. So what I got to do is totally fight. I can kind of hold that, but then it's going to do stupid stuff like that. I guess we can try to loosely put the ones on the front too, or one on the front anyway. Then second one, we might as well just fail all the way around. Will that slip past there? There. Hang, hang, hang. Oh, baloney. Okay, this ain't working. Will it stay long enough for us to do this? Probably not. I really just want this to do its thing. Aw. You get one end started, and then you lose the other end, and that ain't no fun. They're kind of in there. I realized I forgot to paint the back of that panel, so I'll have to do that. I had to use your magnet to pick up my bolt I dropped. I got one more clamp to put on, and then I'm going to leave them loosely, except I guess I can tighten the back one. I can probably tighten that one too, but these two need to be loose till I get the hoses in, because I'll have to be able to turn this, and they're right up against that deal. So, let's see here, we're over here somewhere. Let's see if we can get the last clamp started. To make sure we got everything. It's really kind of inconvenient. It might be better to lift it up a minute so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, all the clamps are loosely clamped. Boy, the runs kind of bother me, but like I said, it's good from far, but far from good. Yes, it was paintbrushed, but there's so many welds on this thing that was it really worth a nice mirror finish paint job? Probably not. So, I need to gather my hoses together, which I think are in the back of the escape, question mark. I've been carrying them around forever, and they've been in my way several times, and I moved them, but I think that's where they are. So if I go grab those, I also need to grab some thread tape, and then we can start potentially hooking this back up. I do need to remember to get some stuff to put, like that pin is missing a clip. I'm missing some for these. So I think what was there was just too far gone, and I decided that was not going to be a thing. So yeah, we'll make this happen. Let me go grab those hoses and the thread tape. All right, we got two flavors of hose here, 24-inch and 48-inch. And I'm hoping that that will make this work. Not exactly sure how I'm going to get you in on the view here, but maybe if I put you like on the hood. If I don't watch what I'm doing, I'm going to have paint all over the camera, and also sadness. Is that what I'm trying to say? But anyway, the hoses that we got here have a swivel end on one end because I was at the King Rule store, and that's the way that their hoses are. I would rather have them not have that because swivels leak, but the Supply Tractor store did not have any that day. That was the same day when I bought those, was the same day that I bought the hoses for that 508 plow. So it's been a little bit, you see. See, my plan is get that started there, maybe, and then figure out how I'm gonna twist her like this. I think that's gonna work. Does it look like that to you? You probably need there. Now you can see everything. But I think if I do that, I'm gonna have what I want. This end will be easy to tighten because there's nothing else to hold back. But the other side, not so much. The other side, I'm gonna have 2 wrenches. In order to make this go like what we want. But I think it can be done. I was also debating, do I want to do both top ones first? And then do the bottom so that I can raise it up to do it. I might do that to tighten it. Maybe I can just mock it up like this. So let me grab a 48. See, this one is going to have to be slightly different than it was before, because we're going to go under that bar and around the plate to get to the bottom of the cylinder. And that's why I'm doing what I was doing. Maybe I messed up. Maybe I should have. If I go like this, that will work. But do I want to do that? Do I want to go like this and then like this? I think that will work. That's kind of what I had in mind, I guess. And the reason is, can you even see the bottom of the cylinder? See, it comes straight up out of that one, and that's kind of a bummer because that limits our choices of how we could route the hose. And I don't want a hose to be immediately in a 90-degree bend. So I kind of decided that I was just going to go up and over. And I'll explain that more in a minute. See, the cylinder will never be any lower than it is now. So there's no risk of like pinching or anything. We just got to make sure we got it in a way that it's not going to be unnecessarily wearing out or anything, but I don't think it is. I think it'll be fine. I think it will be fine. So if I do that, I might put something under that to hold it. Let's think on that a minute. I'll probably raise it up to fix that, to tighten that, I mean. But I'll tighten this bottom one. All right, I think I can live with that. That's not as pretty as it probably could be. The original, see, it went over and through, so it just curled through. I thought about cutting holes there, but that's not the way they were originally. I think they went under, but I don't think I want to go under. I think I want it tucked out like this, and then it will never, you know, this I can deal with here somehow. I can tie that back in there or what have you and be out of the way. I probably should have done custom hoses and got them exactly right. Like this one is really a little bit long, but you kind of gotta do the best you can when you're doing pre-made hoses. They're cheaper for pipe thread, so if you got pipe thread on both ends, I'm saying your pre-made hoses are your value route, and that's what I opted for. So anyway, let's get the other one, or the other side I should say. We will get that put in, and then the other one, let's see. All right, so if this one goes there, then we need to do something. It doesn't seem like it's going heavy there. There. That ain't as pretty as the other side was, but I guess the distance is different too, so it is what it is. Oh, you sloppy old loader. Might have to give that a final tightening when the bucket's on, because it ain't gonna. No. There we go. There we go. Come on. Dang. All right. That's in there. Now the other one. All right. Let's put that through there. Can you see? I don't know. I never do. I never know. I think I got that one started. And this one. righty-tighty, lefty-loadsy, or however that goes. All right, let's raise it up, and then I can, if I raise it up, then I can easily get to those, so I don't have to crawl under or anything. That'd be kind of dumb when you got something that, you know, is made to do the thing you want it to do. All right. Let's see if that'll do us. This is super dangerous. Don't ever do this. What I'm doing, in other words, standing underneath, is super dangerous. So, don't do that thing. All right, we're gonna quit with that. We need to tighten these real quick. All right, will these go nice, like, I don't know. I guarantee you they'll leak now because I'm tightening these clamps, and if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't, because I'll have to loosen them. I'll have to loosen them again to be able to retighten the things. So that's how I know they'll leak. If I waited to do this till after testing, then I would know it would be fine. But what fun would that be? All right, everything is hooked up. I got one more clamp, I guess, to tighten. That's what I was afraid of. We're gonna strip out the threads. So that's, why wouldn't we, you know? All right, start it up again. Now we're going to, oh, dum-dum. Okay, it's sucking that one in. All right, now let's put them out. It'll probably do one first and then the other. Relief valve. All right. I don't see any oil spraying, and we deadheaded it both ways, so I think we're good to go. So the only thing left to do is get the pins we need in the correct places we need, and then we need to put the bucket on. Now I know this is going to come as a shock to you, but I got someplace I gotta be, so I'm gonna have to call this video here. I don't think you need to watch me put a bucket on. That's pretty straightforward. But we will go get the clips we need, and we will put the bucket on next time, probably off camera, like I said, and then I can start using this again, because old John there, I like using it. Although it's a different sort of thing, you know, I don't have a spear for the front, and that loader, I don't know if it would lift a bale or not. We never did that, so I never tried that. I could try to clamp mine on there and do that, but whatever. This works good because it keeps the tractor plenty traction, and it works fine like this, and it doesn't tie up my loader for other stuff. But the reason I need to do that one, get that one going, is because next we got to work on this one. This one's been leaking like mad right here, and it keeps getting worse. And that's a sad story, because What I'll have to do to get that out of there is to take that plate off the side, which means I'll lose a good amount of oil out of the steering box. It's gonna make a mess. That's fine though, because in my experience, some of the brake dust and trash gets trapped up in here, and I'll have to dig it out by hand, so that'd be a good excuse to clean in there again. But we need to get that stopped leaking. I'm hoping it's just like O-ring, you know. I might even try to take that one out if I can get this, whatever this is. Is this a wiring harness or is this a line? Anywho, as I was saying before my GoPro camera died, battery died, we'll get that. I may take both out and replace the O-rings on both of them, because you can see that they're O-ring fittings, and then hopefully that leak will be stopped. This thing is a never-ending job of leak repair, and I don't know. We just don't look too hard until it starts running on the ground like that in a continuous drip. Then we worry about it. So we're gonna do that, because I use this almost every day. And yeah, so we're gonna keep it in good shape is what I'm saying. I do think that I might do some replumbing on the loader sometime, because what he's got going on here, I don't know if that's really how it was. This hose is not very good is what I'm saying, and I see that there's been some leaking going on in here some way, but I'm afraid that this hose is on its way out. It's been like that for years, but it's only a matter of time. So I've replaced, I think, all the other ones at some point. You can see by the type of hose they are, but that one, it needs a little bit replacement. There you can see it. Yeah, I also got the kits to rebuild those remote things, but I don't have the confidence yet. I need to read up and watch videos to see how to do that. You pull that whole thing out of there somehow, the guts, and then there's seals and O-rings and stuff, and it would stop it from making a mess back here. So that's another thing I want to do sometime when it's not in use and has to be used every day like it is right now. Right now I have to have it because I have to be able to feed and whatever. And there's things that this one does so much better than the other one, like digging with the tine bucket. It digs, and I do a lot of digging for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. Also, we probably need to dive into resealing this cylinder because it drifts off pretty bad. And I don't know how excited I'll be about that, because I see, you see how somebody else has already been in here and done some welding, and I don't know if that's really the way that was, but you kind of got to have that because of the way that this is mounted. The pivot point is the end of the cylinder, so there's no replacing it with something else unless you do some fabrication, you know. If it had dual cylinders like the other one, it would probably lift a lot more, but then I'm afraid it would also tear up the tractor a lot more, and I'm not doing that. I'm gonna keep it the way it was. I've got the other one now for things like that. I have measured, and I do wish that would be one thing I'd like to do to it, but I don't know if we're missing a bolt. We need to address that whilst we're at it too. But anyway, it'd be nice if it was two-way cylinders, because it's awfully unhandy sometimes that when you get stuck, you can't help yourself out. Geez, that pin's coming out too. I got a lot of stuff falling apart here. But anyway, I think I'll probably just leave it like it is for now, and maybe replace that hose that has to be replaced, and all of our pins that are missing pins. I don't know why that happens on loader tractors, but they eat pins, you know. These buckets are missing one, I see, because that's backed out a little bit. So yeah, this old bucket's been through some stuff in its life, friends. As in, we've rebuilt it I don't know how many times. The last time Grandpa had it pretty well totally rebuilt. I think the whole thing is different than it started out as, you know. This piece here might be original. This little section from like the bottom half of this, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it was the top half and he had the bottom half put in, but it's got a new floor in it several times over, and it curled up, and we had this loose to put that in. And we had to do that because when we had hogs in the woods, we'd use it to haul water in this bucket, so it has to be watertight. We'd carry water in it literally and dump it over into the water, and it worked. So yeah, it's done a little bit of everything, but it needs some maintenance again. Every few months it seems to have something else that is wanting attention. So those leaks, hoses, this thing's leaking too on me part of the time, and that's a sad story because I think from the deer store it's like $700. I found some on the internet machine for like 200 and something, but do I really want to do that until it gets worse? I don't know. It really should not leak any fuel out continuously to a point. If the tank was full, it probably would siphon maybe, but there's a fuel pump, so it sucks out of the lowest part and has to come up. I thought about putting a little shutoff in. I might still do that. Saw this a little bit shorter, so I got room to do that. But yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna call this a success. Like I said, you don't need to watch me put a bucket on. That's kind of straightforward. It would have been nice if that section of paint wouldn't have gone all wrinkly up on me, but that's life. I don't know what I did differently here than I did there, because it was done at exactly the same time, but that end did not cooperate. So anyway, it looks better than it did, and it's welded up a lot more than it was for a long time, and that's what I was after, because we know we're going to destroy it again. We're going to break things, and things are going to happen, so we just as well not get too particular on the cosmetics of it, because you can see everywhere on it. It's been broke almost everywhere, and that's not all from me. It was pretty bad when I got it, worse than I thought, but I wanted one right then. And so I jumped at the first one I could find, and that's how that worked, because I just had the tractor with no loader, and that wasn't very useful. So I bought this loader, and it's pretty rough. So, but it keeps getting plated everywhere and more and more and more. So pretty soon we'll probably just break the tractor in half instead of the loader. So anyway, we're going to call this one here. We're pretty close to having this be usable again, and that's what we're after. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.